The Wealth Mindset Audit: 5 beliefs keeping you broke and how to break every single one of them. I want to have a conversation with you today, not about strategy, not about numbers, about something deeper than both of those things combined. Because over the years, coaching hundreds of professionals, building businesses, and investing in real estate, I have noticed something. The people who struggle to break wealth are almost never struggling because they lack information. They're struggling because of what they believe about themselves and about money. Beliefs are invisible. They don't show up on your balance sheet, but they do show up in every financial decision you make. Every risk you take or don't take, every opportunity you walk past because something in you says, that's not someone like me. Today we are doing a wealth mindset audit. I'm going to name 5 beliefs that are quietly keeping brilliant, hardworking, deserving people broke. And I want you to be honest with yourself about which one lives in your head, because awareness is where freedom begins. Hi, I'm Coach Lee Johnson. Let's do this work together. If this is your first time here, welcome and subscribe right now, because this is the kind of content we bring every single week. And if you've been with us through this series, this episode is the foundation everything else is built on. Let's get into it. Here is what I want you to approach this. As I name each belief, I want you to check in with yourself, not defensively, curiously. Ask yourself, have I ever thought this? Has this thought driven a decision I've made? Has it stopped me from making one? At the end, drop the number of the beliefs that hit closest to home in the comments. I read every single one, and it helps me understand exactly what my community is working through so I can keep creating content that actually serves you. You cannot outperform a belief that tells you you're not worthy of wealth. Belief number 1. Money is the root of all evil. The belief, deep down, often planted in childhood, in church, in family conversations, many people carry a quiet conviction that wanting money is somehow wrong, that rich people are greedy, that pursuing wealth means compromising your values or your character. Here's the truth. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money above all else, the willingness to harm others in pursuit of it, is what the original quote is actually addressing. Money itself is a tool. It is a morally neutral, and in good hands, a person with clear values, it is one of the most powerful forces for good that there is. Think about what you would do with real financial freedom. You would give more generously. You would care for your family. You would have the time and the resources to serve your community. You would model a different story for your children, one where abundance and integrity coexist. Wanting wealth is not greed, it's a vision, and it is time to give yourself permission to have it. Money in the hands of a person who is good does good things. Give yourself permission to be wealthy and be good. Belief number 2, I'm not good with money. The belief, I've always been bad with money. Math isn't my thing. I'm more of a creative person. This belief gets repeated so often it becomes identity. And identity is the hardest thing to change because unconsciously you're protecting it. The truth, being good with money is not a personality trait, it is a skill set. And like every skill set, it is learnable. Nobody was born knowing how to analyze rental property or calculate cash on cash returns. Those are learned behaviors, practiced and refined over time. The moment you say, I'm good with money, you give your brain permission to stop trying. You outsource your financial future to chance, to a spouse, to an employer, or just to luck. And that is far more dangerous than any bad investment you could ever make. Replace I'm not good with money with I am becoming someone who builds wealth. This is not affirmation fluff. This is a directional shift that will change every financial decision you make going forward. You are not bad with money. You are undertrained, and training is something we can fix together. Belief number 3, wealth is for someone else. The belief, this one is subtle and is painful. It sounds like people like me don't end up rich. Nobody in my family has ever had real money. I didn't grow up with connections or advantages. It is that belief that wealth has a profile and you don't fit. Here's the truth. First generation wealth builders are some of the most remarkable people I have ever had the privilege of coaching. People who started with nothing, no family real estate portfolio, no inheritance, no connections, and built extraordinary financial lives through strategy, consistency, and refusal to accept the ceiling they were handed. The wealth gap is real. Systemic barriers are real. And I am not dismissing any of it, but I am also telling you from experience, from watching it happen over and over, that those barriers, while significant, are not absolute. They can be navigated, and the first navigation happens in your mind. Wealth is not for other people. Wealth is for people who decide to build it. Full stop. Your background is not your barrier, it is your story. And your story is still being written. Belief number 4, I need to make money to make money. Heard that one before. Here's the belief. This one keeps people frozen. I would invest, but I don't have enough to get started. Real estate is for people with big down payments. The stock market is for people who have already made money. It is this belief that the entry fee to wealth is wealth itself. Let's talk about the truth. You do not need a lot of money to start building wealth. You need a plan. You need the discipline and time. A Roth IRA can be opened with as little as $50 per month, Index investing through apps like Fidelity or Vanguard have zero minimums. House hacking, building a small multi-family unit property and living in one of the units while tenants pay the mortgage, can be done with a little down payment, starting with an FHA loan. Even more importantly, as we've covered in week 2 of this series, many people are not starting with as little as you think. They are starting with an under-negotiated salary, unclaimed employee benefits, and spending patterns that have never been audited. Fix those first, and you'll discover the capital you didn't know you had. You start where you are with what you have, and you build from there. The best time to start building wealth was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now, with exactly what you have. Belief number 5. If something goes wrong, I'll lose everything. There used to be a saying, scared money doesn't make money. The belief, fear of catastrophic loss keeps more people out of investing than almost anything else. What if the market crashes? What if I buy a rental and a tenant destroys it? What if I make the wrong move and set myself back by years? This belief masquerades as wisdom and actually introduces paralysis. Let's talk about the truth. Risk is real. I would never tell you otherwise. But unmanaged risk and the risk of doing nothing or staying stagnant or keeping all your wealth in a savings account that loses to inflation each and every year is real. In fact, for most people, the risk of inaction is far greater than the risk of a thoughtful, educated investment. Smart investing is not about eliminating risk, but managing it. Diversification, education, reserves, insurance, due diligence. These are all the tools that makes risk manageable, and they can be learned. The people I have coached who have taken the most financial ground are not the boldest risk takers. They are the prepared, the studied. They build teams. They start with smaller, lower risk moves and scaled as their confidence and competence grew. This is the same path that you can take. Courage in wealth building is not the absence of fear. It is making educated moves anyway. Something called courage. Build it together. 5 beliefs, 5 lies that have been dressed up as wisdom or realism, as just the way things are. Money is the root of all evil. I'm not good with money. Wealth is for other people. I need money to make money. If something goes wrong, I will lose everything. These are not facts. They are programs, and programs can be rewritten. Here is what I know to be better after years of coaching, investing, and building. The single greatest predictor of your future financial is not your income, not your education, not your zip code. It is what you believe is possible for you, because your belief drives your decisions, which drive your habits, and your habits build or destroy your wealth. You have been watching this series for the past 6 weeks. You now are more clear about how to negotiate your salary, real estate investing, the FIRE framework, and wealth building strategies than most people will accumulate in a lifetime of scrolling. The question is, do you believe you deserve to act on it? Strategy without belief is just information. Belief without strategy is just hope. You need both. And now you have both. Your action step is this but simple and powerful step. I want you to write down the one belief from today's audit that resonated with you most, the one that stung a little bit when I named it. Write it down. Then underneath it, write the truth that replaces it. Keep it somewhere where you will see it every single day this week. And then, if you are ready to go beyond content into transformation, I want you to apply to work with me, because what I do with my private clients goes far deeper than YouTube. We build a personalized strategy. We address the mindset blocks together. We create a real 10-year roadmap designed around your life, your goals, and your vision of freedom. The application link is in the description. Spots are extremely limited and they go fast. Drop your number in the comments. Which belief hit closest to home? 1, 2, 3, or 5? I want to know. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it too, because this might be the episode that changes everything for them. I'm Coach Lee Johnson. The wealthiest version of you has always been possible. It starts with what you choose to believe. I look forward to seeing you again next week.